Hi there. So this video is going to be a little different from what I normally make because this time I am going to be talking about erotica that a friend of mine sent to me a couple of weeks ago, known as Kissing the Coronavirus. It is a 16-page novella written by one M.J. Edwards. This is her debut novel, and it is available for purchasing on the Amazon Kindle for only $1.57. Miss M.J. Edwards wrote this book after she lost her job because of the said coronavirus. And kudos to her for trying to make a quick buck in these desperate, trying times. So she has my $1.57. So the summary of the book goes like this. She was supposed to cure the coronavirus. Instead, she fell in love with it. Dr. Alexa Ashington Ford is part of a crack team of scientists tasked with finding the cure to the devastating coronavirus. Little did she know she would end up falling in love with it in the steamy, viral erotica. Kissing the Coronavirus is a steamy tale about forbidden love and dark desires to come. Now, okay, so normally in these like eroticas and steamy novels, you would have some level of romance or love or some form of a relationship between the two main characters, just to make sure that there is some form of chemistry, so that when it gets to all the juicy bits, you can actually feel something as a reader as well. You can feel the chemistry. In this case, this 16-page book is honestly nothing but just textual porn. I guess that's what $1.57 will get you. Just 10 minutes of quick wham bam thank you ma'am. Yeah. So let's just jump right into it. Come on, Kindle, work for me. Dr. Alexa Ashington Ford stared at the test tube between her fingers, her perfectly pink manicured nails clashing with the pale bubbling liquid inside. She recognized the power she had in her grip, the virus which had claimed so many lives and which made her heart beat furiously, like a wild tiger thrashing in its cage. The coronavirus. Despite the devastation the virus was causing across the globe, Alexa felt a rush of excitement every time she picked up the corona sample, like a pulsing. I'm not even 2 paragraphs in. Like a pulsating erect penis, desperate to unleash its devastation on anyone who touched it. So right off the bat, we have our main girl, the very competent Dr. Alexa Ashington Ford, some sort of scientist. I'm guessing she's a biochemist because she's working with the virus and trying to look for a cure for it. And she is a scientist who is super duper horny, and she has the hots for the coronavirus sample. Not any physical embodiment of the coronavirus. The virus has no physical form, it has no features, it's just liquid inside a test tube. This is the first time I've heard or read anything about people getting aroused by a microorganism. Alexa lowered the test tube and unbuttoned the bottom 2 poppers on her lab coat. Pop, pop. She took the test tube and shook it. The bubbling creamy liquid sloshed against the inside of the tube. It fizzed up, and Alexa swore she could feel the glass expanding, swelling up and down as she shook the tube. Like a peanut! Alexa pulled down her lap pants and pulled her panties to the side, her pussy so wet that the lace glided across her skin like a fat man on a water slide. She lowered the test tube. Just a quick PSA for anyone out there thinking of doing the exact same thing. Don't do it. I knew a girl back in high school who did the exact same thing using a test tube, and let's just say it did not end well with her. Test tube glass is very brittle. They break very, very easily. You do not want to be that person with half a test tube stuck inside your coochie. The pain is not worth it. The embarrassment is not worth it. Nothing is worth it. Don't use something that can easily break inside of you. Okay, just don't do it. Just don't. Her boss shows up, her boss named Dr. Gertlechund. Because she had her back towards the door, Dr. Gertlichan had no idea what she was about to do with with the test tube of the coronavirus, and so she immediately puts it away, buttons her pants back on, and starts, talking to him. And here we get a little insight into the type of man that Alexa finds very attractive. And Dr. Gertlichan is not it. He wasn't the sort of guy she usually went after. She liked big, muscular men who looked like Greek statues, except with huge cocks rather than small ones. Dr. Gertlichan was small and had a funny mustache, but after having been stuck in a lab with him for so long, so deprived of the feeling of a hot man dog, so deprived of the feeling of a hot man dog inside her lubricated pussy bun, she had even considered asking him if he'd be interested in a quick bit of sex to help her get over her infatuation, so she could get on with searching for a cure. So this scientist lady is stuck inside a lab with this Dr. Gertlichan, and they are supposed to be looking for a cure for the coronavirus, the thing that is taking hundreds and thousands of lives globally, the thing that has literally sort of put the entire world at pause. People have been losing their jobs because of it. People are losing lives, their family members, their loved ones, and we cannot get a cure soon enough. And in this particular fictional world, she has been given the privilege and opportunity to look for a cure, which could be a groundbreaking discovery for her and Dr. Gertlichan. And instead of focusing on that, this woman is just so horny that she can't concentrate on finding a cure. Her head's all fuddled up because she's just so sex deprived. Get your priorities straight. She should be on the fast track to find a cure for this disease. The faster you find a cure for this thing, the quicker you can get out and get some of that hot man dog inside your lubricated pussy bun ASAP. There is conflict because she wants to wait for the COVID to spread further than it already has, and her boss, Dr. Gertlichan, wants to start clinical trials as soon as possible. This still doesn't stop Alexa from thinking of hate fucking him. The reason why Dr. Gertlichan is so determined to find a cure is because, apart from the two of them, there were two other doctors, Dr. J and Dr. Wobble, who were also on the team to find the cure, but they unfortunately died because they got infected. And so now it's up to the two of them to find a cure. When the coronavirus had first taken hold of the people of Wuhan, Dr. Gertlichan, one of Ohio's top biochemical neuroviral epidemiologists, had asked a core team of doctors to lead a task force to find the cure. Then, slowly, the virus had spread across the globe. Asia, Europe, some other places, but most importantly and worryingly, America. And so Dr. Gertlichan became more determined. So determined, in fact, that he had stopped listening to reason. And because Alexa had huge boobies, a thick ass, and nice legs, he would sometimes overlook her. Alexa admired him so much, but lately his attitude had gotten in the way of her fantasies. He was definitely marriage material, but he just wasn't what she wanted appearance-wise. She couldn't get over that mustache. Does she like this guy or not? She loved beards, and a mustache was only the start of a beard. She loved beards, and a mustache was only the start of a beard. Micro penises are just the start of a real penis. You need the rest of it for it to be truly meaningful. I gotta say, I kinda love the way MJ Edwards writes. If only he had a beard, and was taller, and had a big cock, and was handsome and made her wet. Like COVID-19. She had been working with Dr. Gertlichan and the others before they died on the cure for the virus for weeks, and now, finally, there was a slim chance that they may have found the cure. And Alexa would finally know what it felt like to grasp a cock in her hands again. So she gets some of the samples, and Each sample came up positive and matched up with the results they had previously obtained from other samples they had sampled, which is apparently great news. This was perfect. It meant they'd be able to run the trials for the cure. Unless... Alexa flounced across the lab, her blonde hair wafting lavishly, to Dr. Gurlichand's workstation. She opened the cabinet containing the trial vaccines and took out a test tube containing a bright blue liquid. The cure. So they already had the cure, but they had to sample something. I'm guessing it was the COVID-19 sample, and the samples came out positive for the COVID-19 because the test tubes contained COVID-19, but they already had the cures. I don't know. She is about to mix the cure to a test tube of the COVID-19 sample without the prior okay from Dr. Gurlichand. This is a woman on a mission to get herself some huge cock. Also, this description of Alexa, you know, with her huge boobies and her thick ass and her nice legs and her blonde hair, coupled with the fact that she's a scientist, for some reason just made me think of Oleana from Pokemon Sword and Shield. She takes the cure and she takes a test tube of the COVID-19 sample, and then she just eyeballs the amount of cure to pour in to the sample, and she just drops one drop of it inside, like bloop. Even the sound of the virus made her ovaries clash together like cymbals. I'm gonna put up a picture of what the inside of a vagina and a uterus looks like. Ladies, if the presence of a man or a woman or a vial of virus ever makes your ovaries clash together like cymbals, please seek medical help immediately. So after our science lady Alexa, you know, pours one drop of the cure into the virus test tube, she just puts the lids back on each test tube and returns the vaccine to the cabinet. Now, I'm no scientist, but I do believe if you do any sort of experimentation or make any sort of changes to the experiment that you are currently performing, I do believe you need to take notes and specific data about the changes from like the before and after, so that you can do comparisons and see if it was effective or not. For future test trials, even on the same experiment, you have an idea of what to do and what not to do, and you know, just get the results that you're looking for. She does none of these. Instead, like I said, she just puts the test tube back inside the cabinet, and she doesn't even want to tell Dr. Gurlichand that she made any changes in the first place. So there's gonna be one test tube that's not gonna be consistent with the data that they have collected so far. In this book's universe, this is the person who has been given the responsibility to cure the coronavirus. After that, Dr. Gurlichand comes back into the lab and she tells him the samples are all perfect, and immediately he is like, we can start the clinical trial. So Alexa's like, okay, I'll write a letter to the medical council, and Dr. Gurlichand is, no, we can start the clinical trials right here, right now. Because, plot twist, Dr. Gurlichand is COVID positive. Alexa's heart fluttered like it had done the time she'd fucked the farmer's cross-eyed son and uncrossed his eyes. So Dr. Gurlichand takes a syringe and he puts it in the COVID cure sample and then jabs it into his arm and just injects himself with the concoction, whatever it is. Bob, you can't, said Alexa, grabbing his bicep. It was so small. So weak. Alexa, I can, he said. And I will. I have to. You might die. Better me than some helpless children. There was a moment of silence. Alexa had never seen Dr. Gurlichand in this way before. So brave, so selfless. Maybe she had misjudged him. Maybe. Maybe. He fell to the floor. "Doctor!" exclaimed Alexa with panic-driven fear. "No!" he yelled. "Don't come any closer. I have it under control." There was lots of sound and shaking, and Alexa's heart hammered harder than the time she was hammered by the carpet fitter when he came to fit carpets in her country manner.
いつも一人で歩いてた
Alexa edged back, pushing back until her back pushed back against the wall. What? Dr. Girdlechon screamed. He clutched his chest. He crawled around the back of his workspace as the wind whipped up and the lights flashed again. Where is wind coming from in this lab room? Dr. Girdlechon? She breathed. Nothing. Bob? Who is Bob? Came a voice. Alexa blinked. Who? What? Bob? Uttered Alexa. What do you mean? I don't know Bob. A hand clamped down on the workspace. It looked like a normal hand, except it was green. Dr. Girdlechon, what's happened to your hand? Wailed Alexa. I don't know who that is. Came a bellowing bellow which rattled the beakers and tinkled the tubes around the lab. There was a low groan, almost like a growl, which deepened and became a roar. A guttural, animalistic roar. So strong and powerful, it made Alexa's
それでも私は歩
So strong and powerful, it made Alexa's clitoris judder with anticipation. Then one detail at a time, Dr. Girdlechon stood from behind the workspace to reveal himself. His strong brow, piercing blue eyes, supple lips, a wide jaw, like the trunk of a car, bulky, thick shoulders, a flat stomach, a bulge in his trousers the size of a medium-length python, legs, and presumably feet, but Alexa couldn't see behind the desk. The tip of his penis winked out above his belt line, and Alexa was positive he wasn't even erect. She couldn't stop staring, and it was green. In fact, all of him was green. He's the Hulk now, and he was covered in small green bumps, which sciencey people like Alexa called spike proteins. If he had spike proteins protruding from his body, wouldn't that mean he was... Dr. Girdlechon? Asked Alexa. Is that you? He shook his head. Are you in there, Dr. Girdlechon? Bob? No, said the enormous green man. He was at least a meter taller than Dr. Girdlechon had been, and almost twice as wide. Then, who are you? Asked Alexa. I don't know. Do you know who you are? I think so. Does he or does he not know? Or should I ask, what you are? Are you the virus? Yes, he said. You're coronavirus? COVID-19? Yes. What happened to Dr. Girdlechon? I consumed him. Why? The injection. The vaccine trial. Because Dr. Girdlechon already had the virus, because he was already infected and COVID positive. When he injected himself with the cure plus COVID-19 concoction, COVID-19 plus cure became 2 COVID-19 plus 1 cure. But 2 COVID-19 obviously overpowered the 1 cure and took over Dr. Girdlechon. So now he is COVID-19. You are COVID-19? Yes. He had a sad expression. Alexa wasn't sure what she felt. It wasn't fear. It wasn't anguish. It was intrigue. Perhaps a little excitement. He stepped forward. Don't come any closer, exclaimed Alexa, even though she secretly wanted him to get closer. Much closer. It's fine, he said softly. I can sense that you're immune. Immune to the virus? She asked. To you? Yes. Because plot twist, she's asymptomatic. She has had the virus this entire time, and she's the one who infected Dr. Girdlechon in the first place. So she realizes that Dr. Girdlechon got infected by the virus because of her. And so a single tear trickled down Alexa's rosy red cheek, and she closed her eyes. This was her fault. Suddenly, a strong chunk of a finger rubbed across Alexa's cheek. The virus had wiped it away for her. The virus opened his hand, and Alexa nestled her cheek into it. It was like laying on a warm, welcoming pillow, soft and strong, dreamy and happy. Some other nice things she couldn't possibly describe. Words exist. She looked up at him. His eyes were striking, like a goat's, and they seemed to be growing, bigger, wider, sexier. But Alexa suddenly realized they weren't getting bigger. They were getting closer. They start making out. His lips so close she could taste them. His tongue so soft and hot, like a chunk of microwaved fish sloshing around inside her mouth. So soon enough, they are porking. Tears off her lab coat and whatever she was wearing. Description of her boobies bounced around like water balloons glistening in the summer sun. Big hand grabbed at her even bigger breasts, clinging on like he was climbing a mountain. At his pants, ripping himself away, releasing his beast of a cock. Swells like a balloon being filled with helium, rising up, standing to command, begging for her to take it in her hands. He thrusts his warbling member deep into her pocket of ecstasy, body spasming, thunder clapping. He filled her with love lotion, which oozed out instantly and spread right across the floor. That will, without a doubt, thought Alexa, take a long time to clean up. I have questions about this love lotion since it came out of this virus-infected virus Hulk man. First of all, is the love lotion also green? And second of all, is it by any chance glow in the dark? Alexa, after being fucked by the Hulk virus, has started to feel alive and amazing. What was this feeling? A warmth both inside and out. Bubbly like a cola ran through her veins. As COVID wrapped her up in his arms like she was the filling in a burrito, she realized that she never wanted to be apart from him. She wanted to spend eternity encased in his warming warmth. This was published, and I bought it. She looked up into COVID's eyes, and he stared right back with those beautiful goat eyes of his. He had undoubtedly taken her breath away. I'm pretty sure after you have literally fucked the coronavirus, your respiratory organs are now compromised. So they continue to cuddle. Alexa doesn't care that Dr. Gertlechan is gone. She has been satisfied sexually, and that's all that matters. She had listened to her heart and vagina and allowed herself to succumb to COVID's charm. She had ignored what her head had said, the dread, and instead, she had embraced love. She lay still and listened to COVID's heart, and she closed her eyes, and she rested, and rested, and ... Presumably, she died from being fucked by the coronavirus because, let's face it, it has been going around killing people. I guess I'm happy for her. She finally got what she wanted. That was to be literally fucked by COVID-19. We've all been fucked by COVID-19 at this point. She ain't anything special. Let's have a little fun and maybe like read some of the reviews from this book. And oh my god, what is this? But anyways, reviews. I give the author props for coming up with this idea. The writing felt quite clumsy and the sex scenes were even clumsier, but I had a good laugh, and for that reason I believe it deserves 3 stars. This is easily the highlight of 2020. The author's reasoning behind writing this makes it even better. Good work, full-length novel in the future, please. Bought to support author after the year from hell claimed her job. I found the book pretty much hilarious in all aspects. Creative way to get back at the thing that ruined your career, but I have to rate as I would any literature, and in this case is a -5. Creative for sure, but morally unsure if it would be acceptable. Cringeworthy sex scenes, if that's what you call them, and really hands down 16 pages of pure dribble. Hope the author made some money though, and wish all the best in finding a new job, preferably that one that is not writing. Well, I do agree with this. Like, this poor woman's like lost her job to the coronavirus, so this is her way of like, basically giving the middle finger to it. And she made some money out of it as well. I can see few people have bought it, me included. So good on you, MJ Edwards. 5 stars. This is a meaningful piece by an incredibly talented author which will undoubtedly leave you breathless. Although short, whilst reading I found it difficult to mask my emotional reaction to this heartfelt and lust-filled story. If you're looking for a read that will get you hot under the collar, this highly relatable novel is the one for you. I'm sure the hype around this incredible piece will spread online soon and we'll see this wonderfully poetic author go viral. But yeah, she's been getting like overwhelmingly positive reviews because I think a lot of people know this is probably done, like she was probably not that serious about it. I don't think she herself expected that it would get anywhere, that people would actually be buying it and reading it. Good on you, MJ Edwards. Like, make that money, girl. So anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I really appreciate you for watching the video and for just being here, honestly. If you like this video, please be sure to like this video and subscribe for more useless content. I will see you next time. Bye.
I got